All right, we have three different relationships that we can have. We can have directly. Okay, if X directly affects Y, we call that causation. Now, nothing's 100% in this world, so it is the main focus of why changes. So X and Y, the next one is common response, where we got X and we have Y, and really they both react to some other variable Z, and we call that common response. And Z is considered, so we would refer to that as a working variable. And then we have the third option, where we think X affects Y, but there's still some other thing that can also affect Y. So X is not the only factor that changes Y. Alright, so if we have mother's height and we have daughter's height, obviously the father's involved as well, but this would be as close as a direct causation as we could get. The mother is directly responsible for the daughter's height. Alright, let's say X equals carnival sales and Y equals winter coat sales. Now obviously as carnival sales go up, winter coat sales are probably going to go down. But the carnival sales do not affect the winter coat sales. These are both a direct result of temperature, which means that this is a common response, and the working variable is the temperature, because carnival sales go up when the weather is warm, and winter coat sales go up when the temperature is down. Alright, and let's say X equals age and Y equals car insurance rate. Well, X has something to do with the car insurance rate because they ask you your age, but there's other things that go into the insurance rate, such as, the cost of the car, accident history, gender. So even though age has a little bit to do with the insurance rate, there are plenty of other working variables that also affect the insurance rate. Establishing causation. The best way to establish causation is to do a controlled experiment. And we'll talk about that in the future. But if we can't do a controlled experiment, then we have to do observational studies. So in class we talked about how can we prove that smoking produces cancer? And the reason why this one comes up a lot is because we all know at this point that smoking causes cancer. However, a lot of people in the nicotine business wanted to say that it doesn't, and we couldn't do a controlled experiment because forcing people to smoke is not something that we do. So there were several things that we needed in order to prove that smoking causes cancer. First of all, we need a strong association. So it must be something that happens pretty often, and it must be consistent. It can't just happen one year and not another. We need to have it happen a lot. We need a large group of people who all have the same thing going on. We also need to have the effect for a long time. So it can't, like I said, it can't happen one year and not another. It has to happen in the 80s and in the 90s and in the new decade, or I'm sorry, new millennium. And finally, it has to be plausible. We have to believe that this could actually happen. And so if you have a observational study, we basically need all 5 of these things in order to prove that it happens.